Hey everyone, this is Kyra from KyraMioso29. Today's video is going to be all about drugstore concealers, my top picks. I've pulled 6 concealers for you guys, and each one has its own purpose that I love, I've enjoyed, I've tested it out. I just really enjoy each one of these. I have one from Revlon, Hard Candy, Rimmel London, Sonia Kashuk, CoverGirl, and Maybelline. There's no one brand the same. They're each a wide spectrum of all the drugstore makeup that's available to you guys. Fortunately, the Sonia Kashuk one is not available to us in Canada. I did pick that up when I was visiting the States recently, and if you're interested in a haul video I did when I went to the States, I do have a 2-part video series about my States haul and everything I got. But two of those products I picked up definitely stood out to me, and they're part of my favorites now, and a few of them I just picked up, and they are my newfound favorites. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video. I'm going to talk about why I love each one, what I use each one for, and I don't really know the prices, and the prices vary depending on country and depending on the store you go to. So I'm not going to talk about price, but I'm going to talk about why I like them, the consistency, and everything like that. So I think it'll be like a mini review for each product. So the first one is relatively new. Where I live, it's only become available for individual sale now. I actually got this originally as a bonus, like an added bonus attached to a Revlon Photo Ready liquid foundation, and it came as like a bonus item. It's the Revlon Photo Ready concealer in a stick. This is pretty cool because this is the first stick concealer that I actually found to be really creamy and easy to work with. Sometimes when I purchase stick concealers, the consistency is too hard, and when I'm putting it on my skin it just becomes way too thick and cakey looking. There's a CoverGirl concealer stick that I used to use all the time, and then I realized how cakey it looked on my skin and I stopped using it. So this one is in 003 Light Medium. This is the one that was automatically matched to the shade that I picked up in my, what is this called? Photo Ready Liquid Foundation. I think I was like a natural beige in that one. So they pre-matched you with a concealer that fit the foundation color you got. So I think that was handy. Some people have a hard time picking a shade that they think would match them. This one, it's so close to my skin tone that I actually use it to cover blemishes. So what I do is I just take my finger and sort of just spot treat any areas that have discoloration, redness, scarring, all that good stuff. Well, not really good stuff. All that bad stuff that needs to go away and get hidden. The next concealer is definitely a must-have, I think, if you have not tried it yet, because it's so affordable and it just does really great things. If you are a big concealer junkie, you probably know what this one is. Hard Candy's Glamoflage. I have mine in medium. That's the first drawback that I can think of with this particular concealer, is that there are only 3 shades you can choose from. Now, realistically, not everyone in the world can fit themselves into 3 shades. However, I was lucky enough to fit myself into the medium shade range. It matches my skin tone well, but because I bought a concealer that matches my skin tone, I only use this to spot treat hardcore blemishes. I do not use this under my eyes because for my under eye dark circles and my under eye area, this area right here, I like to use a concealer that's a lot brighter, maybe like 2 shades brighter than my skin tone or the shade of my foundation. So if I'm buying a concealer that matches my skin tone, similar to the Revlon Photo Ready one, I'm only going to use it to cover discolorations, scarring, that kind of thing. So with this one, it's so heavy duty, so opaque, really, really thick, that I only use this for emergencies. You know, when you wake up one day and you have like a hardcore pimple, in your face saying hi to the world, and maybe it's photo day that day and you have no other option, that's when I break out this Glamoflage. I don't wear it on a daily basis because of the opacity of it. It's really thick, guys. Like, if you have really bad scarring that you need to cover up, I would definitely recommend this Glamoflage. This is so thick it can even cover up a tattoo, and it's advertised as it's able to cover up that tattoo. So yeah, it's really an intense concealer, and you only need, I'm not joking, a pin size amount, and it literally can spread to a big amount of space on your face that you need to cover. It's so saturated, you need the tiniest amount. A little goes a long way, and so because of that reason, this is going to last you a long time. One that I was obsessed with using, and I think I used it a lot in some of my tutorials that I filmed a couple months ago, is this Rimmel Match Perfection Concealer. It's similar that it's in a squeeze tube and everything, but this one is advertised as being a 2-in-1 concealer where it conceals discoloration, redness, blemishes, dark circles, but it also is a brightener of your under eye area. I guess that depends on the shade that you choose for yourself. For this concealer, I thought it was so neat because it has a brush head attached to it where you squeeze the product out and it comes through the brush, and you just use the brush to apply it to your face. So that was neat. I don't have a drugstore concealer that has this kind of, you know, packaging, but my shade is Classic Beige 030, and I don't use this as a brightener. It doesn't really cut it as a brightener for me because it matches my skin tone way too closely, but if I was to go to, you know, maybe 2 shades up higher or choose the neutralizer shade, then I could use it as a brightener, and I think that it would really work nicely. This is such a creamy liquid foundation. This is such a creamy liquid concealer that it just covers beautifully. It blends really well with the fingers. I guess I didn't say the coverage of the other ones. I would say that the coverage for the Revlon Photo Ready is medium to full. The coverage for the Glamoflage is full coverage. And the coverage for the Rimmel Match Perfection is medium to light to medium coverage. The next concealer is full coverage, but I use this one as a brightener and it works really fantastic. It's the Maybelline's new Instant Age Rewind Eraser of Dark Circles. This is a treatment concealer with goji berry and haloxyl. That's what it's advertised as having. I got my shade in 50 Neutralizer because I wanted it to be a brightener. I told you guys earlier that I really like that brightened up effect under the eye in this general area. And to do that, I picked a shade that was about 2 shades lighter than my foundation shade. I wanted it solely to brighten up under my eye, and it really does the job well. It's a really thick consistency. Like most of these other liquid concealers I'm talking about, they're really thick, they're easy to blend and work with, and this one does not crease. The next concealer palette I would recommend to anyone. I would recommend it to mature women, you know, young women, you know, middle-aged. It's just a really great palette from the drugstore to have. It's the Sonia Kashuk concealer palette in Hidden Agenda. In here you have 2 concealer shades, 1 neutralizer shade, and 1 translucent powder. I've talked about this so many times it's not even funny. I even included it in my January favorites video because I just use it so much. We just have the best range of shades here. This concealer here I use to cover blemishes because it's the one that matches my skin tone really well. This one down here I use as an eye brightener on days when I'm not going to use my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind brightener, because this one is about 2 shades lighter than my natural skin tone. Under here is a really great concealer that has a salmon undertone, which helps to cancel out under eye dark circles, and I use that sometimes if I'm not looking to brighten, just to conceal. And up here is a really silky translucent setting powder, which is just awesome. And you know, I use this pretty much every day. Even if I'm not using any of the concealers in this palette, I reach for the powder because it sets the concealer really well. And if you're in between shades, like none of these concealer shades match you, you can mix them together. So, you know, you can create shades as well, which is really one of the benefits to picking up a concealer palette instead of just one of these concealers that come in a 1 shade only, you know what I mean? So this one is definitely full coverage, and you can even sheer it out to where it's medium, but it's just great, great, great. I would say that the skin tone one is not the fullest coverage, so if you have a lot of discoloration and scars, I don't think this one would be the best to use to conceal that. Okay, and the last concealer I want to talk about is in a pot form. This is Olay, CoverGirl and Olay combined to make a concealer in a jar, and this one I got in 215 light medium. This is marketed as a Simply This is marketed as a Simply Ageless. What time is it? I have to go soon. Okay. This concealer is marketed as a Simply Ageless concealer, so mature women who have, you know, some wrinkle, I can't say that. This concealer can be used by young people, older people, mature women, you know what I mean? Like, it's just universally flattering for everyone and everybody's skin textures. So that's what I really like about it, and I like that it comes swirled. Obviously mine's a little bit not a perfect swirl anymore because I've been using it a lot, but it's just a really nice concealer, and it's really thick and creamy, and I got mine in light and medium because it's a little bit light for me, so I definitely use this one only under my eyes to conceal and brighten up under my eye area, and it does a really great job of brightening up under the eye without getting too cakey looking. I mean, with all concealers you want to be careful not to go overboard because concealer can start to look cakey really quick if you're not careful with the application. You apply too much, you know what I mean, you got to just be careful. That's how it goes with all concealers, but this one is just really nice, really pretty, and it offers decent coverage. I would say it's medium coverage, but the one I use is for brightening, so it's kind of hard to say how well this covers blemishes because I don't use it to cover that, but for under eye brightening it does a really good job. So those are all my favorite drugstore concealers. Each one has something that I love about it in its own way. I definitely don't think I could pick right now which one's an all-time favorite, but if I had to recommend only one to you guys, it would probably have to be my Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda palette, just because I reach for it pretty much every day. I'm really sorry to any viewers who are from Canada because we cannot buy it here, but people in the States, if you have a Target, that's where you'll find this. So yeah, that's great. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful and it kind of gave you an idea on what concealer may be good for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and show me some love. Leave a comment, like the video, you know, it's up to you, but I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!